Hi, I'm Sam Karten. I'm a Bethel College nursing student. The title of my presentation is Human Milk Compared to Donated Human Breast Milk in Premature Infants. So my PICO question is, how does maternal breast milk compared to donated breast milk affect premature infants? So I chose this topic because I really want to be a NICU nurse. I love being around the small babies and helping them. I actually came up with this question when I was in a clinical rotation, and it came about. One of the infants needed milk but wasn't able to use the mom's milk, and so it kind of sprung on me. I was like, well, what other options do they really have? And then what are these options are the best? So that's kind of how I came about all of this. So we all know that maternal breast milk is best for human infants because that's what they need to grow, and the mom automatically makes what the baby needs. So the main important thing for the background is knowing the components of the breast milk to be able to compare what the baby needs and what materials are in that. So maternal breast milk has a whole bunch of these different types of like amino acids and microbial factors, fatty acids, growth factors, but those are all different across between like the human breast milk, donated breast milk from another mom, and formula. So human breast milk produced by the mom decreases the chances of developing late onset sepsis, bronchopulmonary dysplasia, retinopathy of prematurity, necrotizing colitis. And while consuming breast milk, that's for both, but within the donated breast milk, those components are a little less, but they're still at high ranges so that the baby is able to grow. While also consuming breast milk, premature infants have a more positive linear growth in their height, weight, and head circumference. So they're able to grow more quickly compared to children that are not receiving breast milk of any sort. While maternal breast milk that is donated goes through a pasteurization process to kill like bacteria and all the other stuff to make it safe for consumption, it does decrease some of those those components that we were talking about earlier, but not enough that it completely destroys everything that is nutritional for the child. So for the literature review, we know that a lot of moms are concerned about how it'll affect the children's body and their own through the donation process. It'll affect they want to know how it'll affect their ability to produce milk for their own children if they have more than one. Fear of contracting a disease. So they're afraid of giving donated milk to their children because they're afraid that their baby might get some unknown disease. And they also may be afraid of developing genetic traits, which is a reasonable thing because you would think that that is, but there's no studies that show that genetic traits are passed between breast milk. In another study, 62% of mothers would rather use formula than give them milk of any sort, which is really crazy to think about. 88% of mothers do not want to feed their milk or someone else's milk to their own children. 77% fear of infection. 4% believe it violates religious beliefs. In another study, 56% of mothers with an ill child in the NICU believe that donated milk is not safe, compared to 72% of mothers with a healthy child believe that donated milk is not safe. So even moms in the NICU believe that it's not, majority believe that giving donated breast milk is not safe, which it really is. And then another study shows that there's a huge lack of knowledge about milk baking in general. I mean, I didn't even know about milk baking until my clinical experience. So for my Cuban competency, I talked about informatics, and that's just getting the information out there and providing moms and other people in the community with this information, because if we can provide more information and put it out there, then more people will be able to know that this is a really good thing and that there's more ways to be able to do it, and that we can cut down on the use of formula and other things that aren't as optimal for our children. And then for our conclusion, there's always going to be multiple options to feed children. But obviously the best way is maternal breast milk. But I would like to say that donated breast milk is a very good and viable option. It holds way more nutritional value compared to formula or any other like synthetic stimulated nutritional supplements. And milk banks have been around for hundreds of years and people do not know about them. I mean, it's hard because like I think the closest one to us is in Colorado, but they're all over the world and they have them in like Europe and they're scattered across the United States. So for my personal recommendation, I believe that we need to put more education into like post, sending moms home or in clinics, just all over about donated breast milk and how it is a huge and viable option for moms. And it's much better than Similac or the other formulas that you can get. And I believe that cost is much more effective too. Milk banks need to be more broadcast and put out into the public. I believe that more studies need to be done within the United States for people to really like get on board about it. Most of the studies I found were in other countries, but like I said, I think it'd be much better. So thank you.